He sighs softly as he looks out over his kingdom. It's beautiful, isn't it, buddy? He nods and ruffles my hair. One day, my son, all of this will be yours. You'll be the next great king of the Pride Lands. Just like me, and just like your grandfather Mufasa. He grins and pulls me closer, hugging me. Ah, I love you, son. You know that, right? He let out a soft chuckle and nuzzled the top of my head with his snout. Good. Never forget how much I love you. He laughs and ruffles my head. Now run along. I'm sure your mom is looking all over the place for you. He chuckles as he watches me run off, turning to look out over his kingdom once again.
Invitation 届いたなら Open the dungeon 望みはないかな考えがの right 手段聞かせない開くつく命の汗軸も突き抜けて全て解き放たれるまで支配よまたはでもラバーピースどんなギャップも世界は君の森のものに I got to go the next round 勝ち切ってみせる夢の瞬間をスタンバイそれぞれが抱くドラマ To rise the rise 振り落とされたらそこで Drop out 誰かを傷つけてしまった傷ついてもらえないけど To rise the rise 胸に湧き出す希望希望つけ朝向き風向き読み取りまた手を組み裏切りに期待と願い諦めない勝ち取った夢の中で Tell me many will be together He raises a brow as Seth runs over before letting out a small chuckle. Hey, kiddo. Slow down, you're going to run yourself into the ground soon. Raises his brows again. And what's got you so energetic anyways? Nods his head with a small smirk. Oh yes, I know that all too well. I remember when Kiara was your age. Shakes his head in fond memory. She never slept, just always running around doing one crazy thing after the other. Honestly, I don't know how me and Kiara survived that much chaos. If we didn't have the support of our parents, we probably would have gone gray way quicker. He looks off for a moment before shaking his head and turning back to you. Anyways, what's got you so excited today? He rolls his eyes with a shake of his head. Oh, come on, you know what I mean. But I suppose that's just the curse of being the youngest. Being the oldest, I'm stuck being all serious and responsible. Nods his head. Exactly. I have to set an example for you after all, and that comes with some heavy responsibilities. He looks down at you questioningly, raising a brow. That's a heavy subject for a little cub like you. Why are you thinking about that this early? Raises a brow at you again and looks around. What is it? Did you hear something? Sighs and rolls his eyes. Of course it's them. Every time they never know how to keep quiet while they're out causing trouble. Looks at you wide-eyed before shaking his head and chasing after you. Seth, wait. Running after you as fast as he can, Seth. Hold up a second. What are you doing? Stops and looks at you incredulously. What do I mean? You're running off alone straight to where the hyenas are. Looks at you surprised. What do you mean? Are you implying that you're going to confront them on your own? Rolls his eyes with a huff. I'm only coming with you to keep you safe. Now, come on, let's get a move on before those hyenas disappear. Keeps up with you but soon hears the hyenas chattering and laughs from the brush ahead. Narrows his eyes slightly at the sound. We're close, stay behind me, and keep quiet when we come up to them, okay? Nods back and pushes forward carefully,
sticking to the shadows the best he can till they're very close to the hyenas' camp. Slowly peeks out to take a look at the hyenas. Noticing Janja with the others sitting around a fire laughing, he keeps his eyes on the hyenas, making sure to remain hidden. Okay, be ready. They don't know we're here, so we have the surprise advantage. As soon as I give the signal, we confront them. Understood? Goody looks back and continues to watch the hyenas intently, waiting for the right moment. After a moment, he glances back at you quickly, giving you a small nod before turning back to the hyenas. Now, sprints out after you charging at the hyenas. He catches up in a second and moves in close with you as the hyenas are startled by your sudden appearance. Grins as you pin down Janja. There's one of them down. Let's get the others. Returns the look and nods ready when you are. Charges forward and tackles Cheezi to the ground. Looks at the hyenas that lay on the ground. That's all of them. Good job, little man. Looks down at the pinned down hyenas with a smirk. Now the question is, what should we do with them? Looks at you surprised. Hey, where are you going? Watches you walk off in disbelief. We can't just leave them here. They'll just go out and cause trouble again. Looks at you for a moment before groaning. Oh, you're right. They're going to stay in line now after this. Then let's head home and give Dad a report on what happened here. Sound good? Smiles and leads the way back, looking over at you to make sure you stay close. We arrive at the top of Pride Rock and spot Simba sitting on the edge nearby looking at the kingdom. Looks over at Simba before looking down at you. Looks like Dad's up here. I'll be back in a second. Stay here for now. Okay, little man? Smiles and pats your head before walking over to Simba. The scene switches to later in the night, with the sky dark, a sky full of stars, and the whole Pride lands quiet. He walks over to you and sits next to you, looks up to the stars. I see you found a nice spot to look at the stars. Looks up at the stars as well. Yeah, they really are beautiful tonight. You can see all of them so clearly, it feels almost magical. Looks at you as you glance at the ground, noticing you looking sad. Hey, what's wrong, kiddo? Looks at you slightly surprised by your response. Is that what you've been thinking about this whole time? Looks at you with more concern. Why? You're far too young to worry about that kind of stuff. Looks at you with more sadness from your confession. You're worried about becoming a villain? Sighs softly, looking at you with sympathy. Hey, look at me. You don't have to be afraid to say his name, but you also don't have to worry about being anything like him. Smiles softly and nods his head. Really, what happened to him was purely his own fault. Besides, you've got a much kinder heart than him. You'd never do anything bad to anyone you care about. Pats you in the head. See, nothing to worry about. You're nothing like him. Now stop troubling yourself about things you have no need to worry about, and enjoy life how it should be. Smiles and looks back at the sky. Good, now let's just enjoy the sky for a bit, okay? Looks at you and then looks up at the sky. Yeah, probably right. I didn't even notice how late it got. Stands up and stretches. Yup, I'll be in there in a minute. Notices you pause and turn back facing away from Pride Rock, Seth? What is it? Follows your gaze and notices the smoke in the distance, his eyes widening. Oh no, come on!
Invitation 届いたなら Open the dungeon 望みは何かなの Final voice 瞬間聞かせない
開くつく命の汗軸も突き抜けて全て解き放たれるまで
支配よまたはデモラバーピースどんな野望も
世界は君の思いのままに I got to go the next
같이 기대면 운명의 순간 won't stand by 서로 돌아가게 딱 돌아와